welcome to another episode of Gospel and Culture. As always, I'm your host, Justin Bilson, and we're here with one of our teaching pastors. Today we have Ben Parkinson. Ben, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, man. Glad to be here.
Hey, we're going to dive into an awesome question that I feel like a lot of people may have asked before, and I've even been asked, so we definitely want to look into this question today. So the question today is, as a Christian, how do I respond if I'm invited to a same-sex wedding?
Yeah. I'm sure this is one of many questions that we'll get around LGBTQ issues because they're so prevalent in our culture today, as well as inside and outside the church, people wrestling with how to handle this phenomena in our culture today. But I'd say specifically when it comes to going to a same-sex wedding, you're invited to a wedding. I think the answer to that has to do somewhat with your relationship with the person. I think it can be a yes or a no, depending on your relationship with that person. I'm actually probably going to give an answer that's going to be the opposite of what people think when I say that. Because people would assume when I say that, I mean, man, the closer you are to the person, you absolutely should go, and the more distant you are from the person, you probably shouldn't, so they don't misinterpret what you believe about same-sex marriage if they don't know you as well. When the reality is, if I've talked to parents and people who have friends, people who've gone to same-sex weddings, who've really wrestled with this question deeply, as well as even in my own family we've had to wrestle with this question. One thing I see about Jesus that's really amazing is his willingness to move toward those who are sinners, walking a sinful lifestyle in a way they want to be around him. They're attracted to him. He spends time with them, even though I don't think he ever approved of their lifestyle. And you even see the Pharisees get confused about this, right? In Matthew 9, verses 10 through 13, when it says Jesus reclined at the table in the house, and behold, many tax gatherers and sinners were reclining with Jesus and his disciples. And when the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" Right? Why does he spend time with them in a way that seems to approve what they're doing? And he said, but when he heard it, he said, "Those who are well have no need for a physician, but those who are sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice, for I came to call not the righteous, but sinners." And so Jesus makes the point that I actually move toward people who are living in lifestyles that aren't honoring to God, so I can spend time with them, let them get to know me, who I am, what the gospel's really about, what the kingdom's really about, so I can show them why it's better than what they're pursuing. And so in a lot of ways, I would say that rather than someone in a same-sex relationship who doesn't know you as well, they invite you to their wedding, instead of making that the moment by boycotting their wedding and saying, "I can't come to that," to be the way you communicate to them, "Hey, I don't agree with same-sex marriage." At that point, I think you're closing the door on the potential to influence them in a relationship that God may be giving you, to really show them and display the mercy of God, the kingdom of God, to talk to them about what it's all about. You're closing that door up front from the beginning by saying, "I'm not going to come to that," because they don't know you or they don't know what you think or believe. Whereas, and so I think in the midst of that, we probably have more freedom than we think to go, just to show them that we care about them, that we love them, that we want to get to know them better. And then over time, as we spend time with them, I do think it's important for them to know what you believe. Right. But I think we can move toward people in love while we disagree with them, instead of having to move away from them in kind of distance and awkwardness to prove that we disagree with them.
I love how you put that about moving toward people instead of distancing yourself from them. So let's take it a step further. How does that apply when it's a member of your family? When it's a relative or sibling or even a child? How does that apply? How do we navigate through that?
Yeah, so I think in the midst of that'd be a situation where I'd say more often, you can go. My own mom went to her sister's same-sex wedding because she really wrestled with it to communicate love to her and to her partner as she was continuing a relationship about trying to share the gospel with them. At the same time, I think I've also talked to parents who feel like as parents, to go to their child's same-sex wedding, they'd be being asked to be such a part of the ceremony as a parent in a way that you can't separate your belief about that from your participation in it, because you're representing a part of what they're claiming is a holy union that you don't believe is. You're playing a part in that and showing that and displaying that physically in ways that you just can't do it. Then you can ask the question, okay, could I go as a parent but then just not participate in it? And I think that's up to you and And to your child in some ways, I think at the end of the day, the hard thing about that is, man, it's going to make it awkward for them, awkward for you. Everyone there's going to be seeing maybe their partner's parents fully engaged, you sitting back not. They're going to be asking questions about that. Oh, your parents don't believe in the, I think it would make that day harder for them instead of better for them and for you as well, just confusing. So what I've seen parents do in that situation is try to make sure they're going and spending time with their child around the ceremony, before, maybe have them over for dinner, maybe even after. Say, man, hey, we love you, care about you. They're willing to be around it, but they just say, but you know what we think about this, what we believe about this, and we can't participate in it in the way that would make sense. So in some ways, the more they know what you believe, the more freedom I think you have to say, hey, this doesn't make sense, as opposed to the other way around. So, that's what I'd say to that.
Wow. Well, thank you for giving a real answer to a tough question, and I know that is a question that many people, obviously who've clicked on the video, definitely have struggled with and may know someone who's struggling with. So thank you for giving an answer to that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. Well, this has been another episode of Gospel and Culture. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the link on the page. Don't forget to share it with your family and friends. We want to reach and touch as many people for the glory of God through these videos, so we would love for you to share them. You can also follow us online at Fellowship AR, on our social media platforms, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, so that you can get access to these videos as soon as they are released. Again, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time on Gospel in Culture. Thanks for watching.